Hello and welcome to Proctor Exam. My name is Michele, and in the next 20 to 30 minutes, I will describe our online proctoring solution and I will walk you through some key functionalities of our platform. Before diving right into the demonstrations, let me give you some key characteristics of Proctor Exam's offer. Proctor Exam monitoring system is completely web-based and can easily be connected to several test applications with several levels of integrations up until the chance of white labeling it and completely embedding it into your test environment. Proctor Exam will also offer you different layers of security based on the nature of your exams and flexible reviewing options. Finally, Proctor Exam, being a European company, is completely GDPR compliant and compliant with all European regulations in terms of data processing and data retention. Now, let me start this demonstration by the home page of your Proctor Exams account. This is where you, as an administrator, will create your exams from and where you will find your exams uploaded once they are completed. The first step to take in order to create an exam is to enter the administration panel. At this point, you will have to select a proctoring option. As you can see, we have three main options available, starting from light and basic options, the one named Classroom that you can see on the left end of the screen. These options is specially used for test-centered or particular instances where students will be sitting in the same classroom. The other two options, the one named Record and Review and Live Proctoring, are the options we're going to focus more on during these demonstrations. Both of these options are based on the same principle of creating a virtual and safe exam room by recording the candidate from two angles, the web camera to intercept any movement that the candidate might do, and the screen sharing that will record any screen activity. This is important to note because any activity on and off the browser will be intercepted and recorded. We have then, for very high stakes exam, the chance to add a third layer of security with the mobile camera. We will connect the mobile camera of the smartphone or tablet of the candidate to the screen, and this will give us the chance to conduct an environment setup prior to the starting of the exam and during the exam by placing the device approximately 3 meters either on the side or behind the candidate. We will create a dual camera view that will give us a well-rounded view of the candidate's environment. As said, these two options are based on the same principle. What changes is the reviewing modality. Record and review will give you the chance to review the exam sessions after its completion. The recordings will be uploaded into the back office and you will have the chance to review it afterward. Whereas with live proctoring, you will have the chance to appoint live invigilators that on remote will be controlling the sessions in real time. Now, as said, Proctor Exam will offer you flexible reviewing solutions, and you will have the chance to delegate the reviewing of the sessions for record and review to Proctor Exam. Whereas for live proctoring, you will have to deploy your own invigilators. Now, that being said, we will proceed to show the process of creation of an exam. So after selecting a proctoring options, we will have to name our test. We will call it test demo 16 of May. At this point, we will have to set a first starting time. So a first time where the exam will be available for the students. As you can see, this first starting time is set automatically at the moment where the exam is created. You can, of course, modify it by changing the date and the time. We then also have the chance to set a last starting time, meaning a last time where the exam will be accessible by the student. This, of course, doesn't have to do with the duration of the session itself, but as said, it will create an exam window. If you want to leave an open window, you'll just leave this field blank. Then we will have to set a duration in minutes, so we have the chance to include a timer to the session if your test application doesn't have one already. So we will set the duration in minutes. And finally, as said, we will have the chance to include the mobile camera, which I will do in this case, so I will be able to give you an overview of the full experience. The next step is to communicate with the reviewers, assuming that the person that is going to review the exam sessions is not the same person creating the exam, and also assuming that you would be using multiple reviewers. From this panel, you can communicate to them on what students are or are not allowed to do. So from this panel, you can select different options for different actions that will be permitted to the students. This way, the reviewers will know that a certain behavior, the use of a certain material is indeed permitted by the institute, and they shouldn't be flagging that in the incident report. So for example, if students are allowed to use pen and paper during the exam, we'll just need to switch this on to yes. Of course, you can also populate this field with additional informations that are not included in this list. Next, we will have to instruct the students. So this panel will be used to give instructions to the students regarding the exam, any relevant information that the students might have before starting the exam, maybe regarding the duration, what they are expected to do during the exam, and also on the use of the proctoring platform. This is also the panel where you will link your exam with the proctoring platform. As said, Proctor Exam provides different layers of integration, so we have different integrations possible. The most, let's say, direct and quick integration is by using a hyperlink. So assuming you will write something like, dear student, please find your exam here. At this point, by simply adding a hyperlink, so you will have to click on the chain, you'll be able to add a hyperlink to your exam. Clicking save and confirming the choice will add the hyperlink to your exam to the student's instructions that will be presented to the candidates at a later stage. A second connection possible is by using an LTI connection. So if we are using an LMS platform to administer our exams, we might want to include an LTI link instead of a normal hyperlink. So this LTI connection will exploit a protocol specifically developed for LMS's platform. By inserting this link, you will enable your students to log onto the LMS platform by a single sign-on. These type of connections requires synchronization of the LMS platform with the proctoring platform prior to the exam's creation. A third level, I'd say, of integration, a full level of integration is represented by the chance of integrating the proctoring solution through API. So as mentioned, you will have the chance to completely white label the proctoring solution and completely embed it into your test environment. This can be achieved by API integration. Please note that in case you would select a complete integration through API, this first part that you just saw, this first part of the exams creation process will not happen this way because it will be completely carried out from your test application directly, being the two platforms completely integrated. The last step in terms of sessions creation is inviting the students. Now, again, let me stress the fact that in case you are running a full integration, these steps will not be required. In any case, if you are opting for different level of integrations, you can in any case invite all the students by importing a list. Now I will invite myself manually, so I will be able to give you an overview of the candidate experience as well. At this point, once name and email address of the students are entered, you will just have to click Add Student. And at this point, what will happen is that Proctor Exam will automatically generate two individual hyperlinks. The first one is for a requirement check, while the second one will be for the actual exam session. Proctor Exam will also generate two emails in order to present these two hyperlinks to the student. So the next action will be hitting send emails. At this point, from an administration point of view, the exam is indeed created and students are invited. Now let me show you what will happen from the student's point of view. The student will receive almost immediately a first email that will notify them that they've been signed up for an online exam. Some preliminary information will be provided, like the name of the exam and the duration if included. At this point, students will be asked to follow some steps. The first one will be to download the Proctor Exam Chrome plugin, and then they will be asked to complete a system check. Now, as you can notice, we are suggesting to complete this process 48 hours in advance prior to the exam start. This is because, of course, students will then have the chance to fix any hardware component that maybe it's not working the way it's supposed to do. So they have time to go back and fix it and be ready for the real exam. The system check is a very simple process. As you can see, the interface is very user-friendly. In a real account, we will have a tech support chat box on the bottom right corner, available throughout the whole process, and the chance to translate the platform into several languages. Now we will have to check the functioning of the following components that you can see in this list here on the right, starting with the microphone. So we will detect the functioning of the microphone through that bar that you just saw on the screen. Going on with the speakers that are working fine, as you can hear the background music. Next will be the bandwidth, for which, as you can notice, we have a minimum requirement of 1 Mbps in upload. Check of the webcam next, which is working fine. And at this point, we will be asked to check the functioning of the application. Now, the mobile app, which is the only thing that needs to be downloaded in case, but can be uninstalled right after the exam, is nothing more than a QR code scanner. As you can see, both versions are available, so for Android and iOS. Once the candidate has downloaded the app on their mobile device, they'll be asked to scan the code that is provided on the screen. And as you can see, the mobile camera will be connected to the browser. The last check will be on the screen sharing functionality. So we will have to test the functioning of the screen sharing. The screen sharing is working fine, and our system check is now completed. At this point, a second email will be received in a matter of seconds, and this email will provide the student with the link to the real exam, as you can notice. So, as you can read in step 3, once the exam time slot opens up, students can use this link to access their exam with the advice of keeping a photo ID with them. In terms of document, we can accept any kind of photo ID from ID cards, passport, driving license, student card. The important thing is that the document will have a picture, name, and surname of the person. Once the time comes, we can, as said, access our exam from here. We will receive some preliminary advices, some suggestions before starting our session. We will be advised to use the toilet in case our session is particularly long, to be sure we are alone, and to be in a well-lit room. After this, the first action will be to allow desktop notifications so that the application, the Chrome plugin, will be able to communicate with us. At this point, we will be asked to set up the screen sharing first, and then we will be asked to check the functioning of the microphone and speakers once again in order to guarantee audio detection. So we will share our screen, we will test the microphone and the speakers. At this point, as you can see, the system is asking the candidate to close any apps or tabs that are open at the moment on the device. As you can see, I have several tabs open now, and if I try to proceed further without actually closing them, this would happen. So the system will detect a certain number of tabs, in this case, open beside this one. So I will proceed to close them, starting from my email and then from this other tab. At this point, we were able to proceed further, and now we as candidates, we are required to follow certain steps. As you can see, the first one will be self-identification. Then we will go through the environment setup using the mobile, and after that we will set up all our cameras before being able to access the exam. All these processes come with a video tutorial on the left hand that is providing the candidates with very easy to follow instruction. The first action required is to take a snapshot of the ID, of the photo ID, holding it in front of the webcam and making sure to cover any personal detail that might be displayed or number. The second picture will be a picture of the face and shoulder of the candidate, trying to center the frame. And at this point, the system will ask us to set our mobile device on plane mode, because of course the recording of a long session might burn the battery. And after this is done, to activate the Wi-Fi. At this point, we will be presented with a QR code that we will have to scan using the mobile application. From now on, everything will be recorded and the candidates are now notified. At this point, we will have to proceed to an environment scan using our mobile camera. Now, as you can see, all the steps are described on the left. You will have a video tutorial with some instructions. Prior to this, we advise to remove any picture or any personal items that candidates might not want to be displayed in the recording. So the first step will be to show our device using the mobile camera, to show our device, especially the keyboard of the laptop or computer that we are using for the exam. The second step will be to take a panoramic of the desk where the exam is being taken, especially the area behind the laptop. Then the third step, for the third step, we will have to show the area underneath the desk and the ceiling. As a fourth step, we will have to show a panoramic of the room, making sure to show all the four corners in order to prove that we are alone during the exam. As a last check, we will have to make sure that no Bluetooth devices are plugged in. Finally, we'll be asked to place the mobile device, approximately 3 meters from our station, either on the side or behind us. And as you can see, we can now have a well-rounded view of the candidate, and we might be able to intercept any movement during the exam. Then we will be asked to show the material that the institute allowed us to use, in this case pen and paper. So we will show that to the camera. We will show pen and paper. This will be, of course, recorded. Then we will have a last camera check to make sure that we are sitting right in front of the camera. And at this point, we are ready to start our exam. Upon hitting start exam, we will be first required to keep this tab open. And at this point, we will be presented with our instructions and also with the link to the exam. Now, if candidates will close the tab by mistake, will end up hitting the X, this will happen. So a pop-up will appear asking them to confirm the choice. So there is no chance that this page is closed by mistake. If the page is closed, this will mean that the candidate did it on purpose. So at this point, as I was saying, we can launch our exam. The exams page will open up in a different tab. Students will then take their exam, and once the exam is completed, they will just need to click the exams page away, hit finish exam, and then they will be asked to confirm their choice, because as you can see, once the submit tab will be hit, then the sessions will be closed and there will be no chance of going back. So they will have to confirm the choice. At this point, we are completely gone from the candidate's device. So Proctor exam is gone from the candidate's device. The webcam is not recording anymore, just like the screen sharing in regards to the screen activities. And also in this case, the mobile application shut down automatically. So from an administration point of view, by going back to your account homepage and entering the back office section, you will find your exam session as completed but not reviewed yet. In here, you will first find some preliminary statistics about the exam, about the attendance, and also you will find, of course, the list of participants. You can search students by name if you want, and if you want to access the recordings of a specific student, so you want to visualize a specific session, you'll just need to hit the name of the students. The session will open up in a separate tab, and as you can see, you will have the recordings of the exams from the three angles, the screen sharing, the web camera, and the mobile camera. In here, you will find the picture of the document and the face of the candidate that you can use to verify the identity of the person and confirm the identity of the person taking the exam. In here, you will find also the pages that have been browsed during the session. Now, as said, you will have the chance in this modality to delegate the reviewing to Proctor exam. If you will choose so, an incident report will appear in this exact space within 24 hours. So this status will change to reviewed, a color code will be applied, and some comments from the reviewers will be added in this section. In case you would want to use your own personnel, the process is exactly the same. They will have to enter review this session. They will find the free videos all together that they can check at the same time, also modifying the speed of playing, or they can check individually by expanding one of the angles. In here, they will find again the pages that have been browsed by the candidate during the exam. And in here, they will find all the instructions given by the administrator during the creation of the exam. If something is spotted, the reviewers will be able to add a comment from here, either by choosing from the drop-down menu or typing the comment in directly. So let's say in this case, for example, we might enter that the students at some point left the room. We enter the comment that will appear in this section. Once the reviewing is completed, the only thing left to do is to hit review, apply a color code according to the feedback as said. And as you will see in a second, the status of the session is now changed to reviewed. A color code is applied. And in here, we can find the comments from the reviewer with the chance to respawn the video at that exact moment by clicking on the time. Now, the presentation, of course, ends here. As you could see, the functioning of the platform is very simple, very straightforward, and easily adaptable to multiple testing platforms. I hope that the information presented were useful and gave you a good overview of Proctor Exam's platform feature. I'd like to thank you for your attention, and I'd like to wish you a very nice day. Bye-bye.